So what I want to do, guys, I want to take the time to welcome you guys to Money Talk, right? Welcome to Money Talk. And as you know, we're going to talk about a whole lot of good stuff this morning and really break down some of the fundamentals about finance this morning. It's important that we have this talk. So like I promised, right, because it's only right that, like I said, today, my goal is to talk about one thing, and that's about investments. And give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna have this stuff for you guys so you guys could be able to get a chance to see. So you guys know the routine. You know, until you make that participation section look green, you know I'm not gonna go live. You know I'm not gonna start. So you gotta light me up green so I could give you guys your shout outs. Let me see who's gonna light me up green. I see Jaime be lighting me up green. I see Miss Sheila lighting me up green. I see Miss Tamiko lighting me up green. Come on now, only three people gonna light me up green. I see Miss Victoria lighting me up green. I see Tyrone lighting me up green. I see Cherie light me up green. All right. I hear you. Good morning to you too. Right? I'm gonna start then. Okay, you convinced me. All right. So, like I promised, this whole week we've been talking about creating that financial foundation, right? And understanding how to win the money game and why it's important for us to learn these fundamentals to win the money game. And winning this money game require us to learn things like how to create a financial foundation. What does it mean to have proper protection? What does it mean to manage your debt? What does it mean to create an emergency fund? And what does it mean when we talk about the fact that, hey, you better be in a position where you understand investments. So today we're going to break that down. But remember, I want you guys to remember this. If you remember anything, I want you to remember that there's two type of tolerance that you must know and you must understand in order for you to win the money game. You must understand, number one, you must understand what is your risk tolerance. Okay? That's more important. You got to know what is your risk tolerance. Number two, you got to know what is your tax tolerance. Okay? Because if you're going to understand a little bit more about investments and you want to know where to put your money, you better take the time to learn what is your risk tolerance and your tax tolerance, because these two tolerance helps you to understand where to put your money, right? And how do you want to invest? Because a lot of people invest in the one bracket, or they invest into this bracket, or they invest solely just into that bracket, but they never understand how these brackets and what are the tolerance of risk that comes with each one. So I think in order for us to understand where to invest, you got to understand first how it's going to be taxed. So you guys know what I always tell you. If you know my saying, you know what I'm going to say. If you understand taxes, you will know where to put your own money. Once again, if you understand taxes, you will know where to put your own money. I'm going to say it again. If you understand taxes, you will know where to put your own money. Never forget that. Do you want me to say it one more time for the people in the back? If you understand taxes, you will know where to invest your money. But the question is, do you understand taxes? Do you understand how your money will be taxed when you need it? It doesn't matter how the money could grow. It doesn't matter how much money you can make. I love when people say, well, Keyon, I invest and I make this type of money. Okay, so what? Well, that's supposed to impress me? What impresses me then, do you know how it's going to be taxed? Do you know how it's going to be taxed? Do you know why it's going to be taxed this way? Do you know how much taxes you're going to pay for the years to come? And can you predict what taxes will be like in the future? And if you cannot, then is it really a good investment? Is it truly a good investment? So these are fundamental things that we must understand and learn in order for us to be better people with our money, right? So that's all I want. I just want to empower you. I just want to empower you with true understanding when it comes to investing and making these decisions. So let's start off first. What are the three ways that money get taxed, right? Or better yet, let's start off there first. And then I'm going to talk about risk tolerance, all right? First thing, three ways your money get taxed when you need it, right? Number one, Your money could get what's known as tax now. Tax now means that the money is taxable. Write this down. Tax now means that the money is taxable. Tax now means that the money is taxable. And taxable money means that you will get, these are the vehicles that get taxable money, all right? You could get tax now in your checking account, savings account, CDs, um, mutual funds, or any stocks, okay? That's where you get tax now, and tax now means your money is taxable. We'll break down what it means shortly. The next thing that we got to look at is the fact that there's something called tax later. Tax later means the money's tax deferred. Once again, tax later means that the money's tax deferred. And all that means is that when your money get tax deferred, it's vehicles like your 401ks, your 403bs, your IRA, your SEP IRAs, annuities, and pensions. All right. These are known as your so-called retirement plan. As you can see, I'm doing my bunny ears, little bunny ears, so-called, right? So then you have tax advantage. Tax advantage means that the vehicles in this bracket are vehicles like Roth, anything with the word Roth in front of it, right? Roth in front of it. It could be a Roth 401k, it could be a Roth IRA, all right? There's also 529 college savings plan, municipal bonds, health savings account, life insurance, long-term care benefits. These are different vehicles that give you tax advantages. So what you got to learn is, well, what does it mean to get taxed now? What does it mean to get taxed later? What does it mean to get tax advantage, right? Because in order for you to understand that and why these vehicles are important, we're going to break that down. But before I do that, I just want to jump forward real quick and give you guys this, all right? Because here's another thing that you guys better learn. It's important that you guys learn this too as well. All right. And like I said, I made sure that I put together a nice little curriculum for you guys this morning. I feel like a teacher. Guys, do you think I could be a teacher? What you guys think? You think Keyon Corniffe should, start going teaching these colleges? What you guys think? Hit me with a yes or no. What do you think? You think I could be a teacher? Right? I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking like, man, maybe I should go and teach some of these classes in college and empower these kids, right? Or even in high school or something. But you see you guys over, you see y'all with all of the yeses over here trying to give me a big head this morning. All right. So, one of the things that we must understand, thank you though, guys. I appreciate you. One of the things though, we have to truly understand about this risk tolerance, right? You got to know what is your risk tolerance. Are you a conservative? Are you a moderate? Are you a moderate growth? Are you aggressive growth? Right? You got to know what is your risk tolerance, right? Because in order for you to start making investments, you got to know what are the risks that tied to them and where are you comfortable. So what it means to be a conservative, right? Let's talk about what it means to be a conservative in financial terms. Conservative means that you're willing to have 65% of your money vested in a fixed income. In a fixed income, meaning that you don't want to lose. You're going to hold 65% and you're going to put 35% into the stock market. That's what conservative means. You have 35% in the market, okay? That's what it means. You have 35% in the market to go take a risk with. You're willing to go risk 35%, all right? So that's what it means. Now, let's talk about if you're someone that is a moderate. Well, what is a moderate? Moderate means that you're kind of in the middle. You want to hold 50% and you want to invest 50%. So you're like a halfway type of person. You're like, you're playing like in between the line. Like, you're like this, right? You're like, I don't know which side I'm going to go, so I'm just going to take 50% risk. I'm going to hold 50%, right? So you're definitely a halfway risk taker, right? But then let's say that you're a moderate growth now. Let's say that you are moderate growth. Moderate growth means that, hey, I'm willing to give you 70%. I want to be 70% in the market, and I'm going to hold 30%, right? I'm going to hold 30%. So you're kind of aggressive, but you kind of are moderate and conservative at the same time, right? So you're 70% in the market, and you're 30% holding on to something. So you hold on a little bit, right? You hold on to 30% of your money, but you're giving 70% in the market. So you're taking like, almost aggressive, but kind of still moderate and conservative at the same time, right? Makes sense? And then if you're aggressive, you know what aggressive means. Think about an aggressive person. Aggressive person come up and like, hey, Like, right? They're all up in your face. They don't care. They're all out there. They're rah, 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 right? So aggressive means that you all in. You don't care. You all in. It's like when you're playing poker at the casinos in Vegas, and you used to like give them all your chips. And like, I'm all in, man. You're gonna roll that dice, and you're sitting there at the edge, like, please land on my number, right? That's how a lot of people are with their investment. When they see the stock market go, they're like, no, no, right? Stop, stop losing money. And then when they see it making money, they're like, yes, 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 right? So people love to make money, but they hate to lose it. But they're aggressive. So aggressive means that you're all in. You're 100% in the stock market, right? You're aggressive. Now, did you know that a lot of people, right? A lot of people that's investing their money right now, right? Did you guys know that a lot of people did not know that their portfolio is at an aggressive, right? A lot of people didn't know that their portfolio is at an aggressive, or they don't even know what is the difference between aggressive, moderate growth, or conservative. And because of this, what happened? They lose a lot of money, right? That's why when the market comes down 100%, lose 40%, they get hit with 40% too, because they're 100% into the market allocation, right? So whatever the market does, they get an impact of 100% of it, right? Versus if they were moderate, they only get an impact of 50% of it, right? So something that you got to think about and something that you must know. I hope this helps somebody. I hope you guys got a chance to understand that a little bit differently now, right? You got to understand what is your risk tolerance, right? And it's important that we do know our risk tolerance. But now, let's get back to the tax tolerance now, right? Because now that you understand what is the different places that you must understand. So now, let's talk about taxes, because I don't think it's so much about the investments, right? Because if we talk about the products, let's talk about the products for a little bit, right? A lot of people say, well, Keyon, what about a Roth IRA? Or they'll say things like, Keyon, don't you think an IRA is really good? Or Keyon, what do you think about annuities? Or they say, Keyon, what do you think about life insurance? Oh, Keyon, what about my HSA? And I'm looking like, yes, they all can work. But it's just a matter of how you want to be taxed. That's what it truly comes down to. It really comes down to how you want to be taxed. Can you make money in the stock market and make money in stocks? Absolutely. Can you make money owning mutual funds? Absolutely. Can you make money in your 401k? Absolutely. Can you make money in life insurance? Absolutely. Can you save for your children college education in 529? Absolutely. But that's not the point. The point is, do you understand your risk tolerance and your tax tolerance? Because even if you put your money in a Roth IRA, yes, it is in the tax advantage bracket. But the problem is, if I have $20,000 that I want to save every year, can I put my money there? Every year, I want to put $20,000 in this thing. Can I put my money there? The answer is no. Right? It's no. Well, Keyon, what about my 401k? Can I put my money in my 401k? Can I contribute to my 401k? It's once again, if I had $20,000 that I wanted to save every year in my 401k, can I do that? In most cases, no. Right? Well, Keyon, are you mean to tell me that I can't do that with my stocks? What about stocks, Keyon? Can I buy shares? Hey, you can buy all the shares you want. But when those shares start giving out dividends and they make any gains, that's called capital gains tax. So now you got to pay taxes on that. Well, Keyon, what you think? Life insurance? What about life insurance, Keyon? Don't you think life insurance is a good investment? I don't know. Depends on what life insurance you have. Do you have whole life, universal life, index universal life, term life? All of these things comes with pros and cons, right? But if it's one thing I'll tell you though, there is a vehicle that give you one, growth potential, right? Which means that the market does well, you go earn up to 15% as a cap. And I also know that there's a safety where they guarantee you that if the market goes negative 1%, 10%, 30%, you're going to get a positive 0.75%. I know for a fact that there's a place where I could put my money and I could get a lot of tax advantages where I get tax deferred earnings, which means I don't pay taxes on the gains. And then also I get tax-free withdrawals, tax-free loans, and tax-free death benefit that will go on to my family. I like to call it tax-free inheritance. And I also know that there's a place that where I can put my money, gives me protection at the same time. And on top of this, it really opened up the vehicle for where I get a protection against terminal illness, critical illness, chronic illness, and even protection against if I pass away, a will prep. A will prep. Guys, are you kidding me? In one place, I can put my money and get all of this. But and there's no age restrictions. There's no 59 and a half. Oh, Keyon, what about how much money I can put into it? It depends on how much you want to put in. We just designed it based on the 7 pay. So now here's another thing. Well, Keyon, what if I don't qualify for that because I have health problems? Okay, that may not be an investment for you, but what about if you want $100,000 that you want to put away every year? I know somewhere where you could put in as much money as you want inside of it. You could contribute as much as you want, right? But once again, it's in a tax deferred bracket. Just know that every withdrawal will be taxed as ordinary income, but you can put as much money as you want inside of it, and also avoid probate. And if something happens to you, your family will receive your money as a death benefit. Wow. How we didn't learn about those one, Keyon? Because all I heard about was my 401k. So tax now, all it means is that all the vehicles that we talked about in the tax now bracket where 85% of the population invest their money to save, it means that any earnings inside of those bracket will be taxed, right? Will must have to pay tax. But also the thing that we got to look at also is the fact that let's think about the fact that any dividends that is taken out of your stocks, mutual funds, money market funds, you also got to report and pay tax on that. That's why they send out the 1099 to the IRS and they're saying you a 1099, right? And now your stock have to pay both of these taxes, right? But then they say, well, hey, no, since 85% of the population didn't like that, let's create a tax later bracket. And they created a tax later known as tax deferred. And tax deferred, all it means that your money is pre-tax. And that pre-tax money is just another fancy word to say that you're not going to pay any taxes now, but I'm going to tax you later on when you're older and you don't want to work anymore and you don't know what taxes are going to be like in the future. And on top of that, there's a whole bunch of fees that's assigned to you. But they give you some rules. They even said that, hey, you got to wait until you touch the money. You got to wait till 59 and a half to touch the money. Or if you do touch the money, we're going to penalize you 10% in addition to taxes. And if you don't start taking the money by your 70 and 72 birthday, we're going to take 50% of your money away because you failed to take out the required minimum distribution. Wow. Then tax advantages come around the bracket. It's like, hey, people over here. Did you know you can pay taxes now and later on when it grows later when you're not working, you don't have to worry about paying the taxes on your withdrawals later on. So that's why vehicles like Roth IRAs, 529 college savings plan, municipal bonds, life insurance, these are popular vehicles that are used to make investments. And guess what? They're tax exempt distribution. So people may use a life insurance like an investment supplement because life insurance is not an investment. Let me make this clear again. Life insurance is not an investment because your money is not tied in the market. But it's a life insurance could be used as a retirement supplement because of the tax advantage that it provides. because of some of the perks that it does provide. So it gives you a lot of leverage, right? So these are things that we have to know, right? So now people will say, well, Keyon, I like tax advantage. I like tax advantage, Keyon. What must I do? I want tax advantage. Well, if you like tax advantage, let's go to the pros and cons. What is the pros and cons of a Roth IRA? Well, a Roth IRA, it doesn't give you any RMD. You can leave your money as long as you want instead of a Roth IRA. The only con about it is that you cannot put in more than 6,500, right? That's a con. And then the another con is that it could be tied to the market, right? So once again, it comes back to knowing your risk tolerance, right? It's tied to the market's performance, right? Now, people say, well, Keon, what about a 529? Isn't that a great thing for my child? Man, a 529 is such a good thing, right? And I said, well, it depends on how much you put in that 529 because it can affect a child's eligibility for financial aid, right? Because it's considered an asset. And if your asset plus the kid asset and all these assets could actually make them disqualified. So, do you want to continue having all these assets, right? People will say, well, Keon, what about municipal bonds? Municipal bonds are great. But it's just a matter of, are you okay with the fact that you may not get a lot of interest on your money, but it's a great saving, right? Because you give you tax free or tax exempt withdrawal money, right? Well, Keon, what about long-term care? Isn't it a great tool too? Yeah, it's a great tool. I think long-term care is awesome. I think you need to have long-term care just in case if you get disabled, you have money available to you. Absolutely. That's tax-free money too, right? What about life insurance, Keon? What do you think about life insurance? Isn't it a great investment? I think it's a great investment too, right? It just depends on what life insurance and why you own in life insurance. If it's about dying, then make sure you have the right one. If it's about growing some money, make sure you have the right one. If it's about using it as a supplement, make sure you have the right one and make sure you funded it in the right way, right? So these are different things that we got to think about and learn. Well, Keon, what you think about a 401k? I think a 401k could be great. Depends on if I'm saying that with all sarcasm, but you know, it depends. It really depends. Like I said, it just comes back down to your risk tolerance. Once you understand your risk tolerance, you can make better decisions. Because if you don't know what's your risk tolerance, then how are you going to guide yourself and navigate yourself through the confusion? I tell people, man, stop trying to understand products, spend more time learning concepts. I'm going to say that again. Stop trying to understand products and take more time to learn concepts. If you understand concepts, you will learn which product will be good for you based upon the concepts that you understand. So if you understand the concepts, you will understand the product. This is how they confuse you. Throwing all these products in your face, CDs, IRAs, blah, 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 blah. And what I do to you, confuse the life out of you, doesn't it? So, I hope this bring a little clarity to you guys. I normally used to dive a little deeper into like what is a SEP IRA and all those things, but to be honest, I think we have done that many times already. And if that's something you're looking for, we'll always come back again and touch on it some more. But I just want to bring it to you this way a little bit more about investments so you can get a bigger perspective, right? What is the real deal? What is the real objective here? The real objective here is for you to truly take the time to understand concepts. And once you understand concepts, you will understand products. All right. So I would love to open up the call for anyone who would like to share any feedbacks or any takeaway. If you'd like to share, please press the yes button right now, right? Or raise your hand button. I'd love to hear from you guys. What is your takeaway from this morning? What are your feedbacks on some of the things that was shared this morning? I want to hear from you guys, right? So anybody who'd like to share a takeaway, feedback, or anything, please raise their hand or press the yes button. and I will call on you so that way you can share. So go into your participant section right now and do so because I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think about understanding your tax tolerance and your risk tolerance and how that helps you to navigate which product will be good for you and how it helps you to understand. So anybody would like to share? Let me see. Going down the line real quick. All right. So we have Jaime. Good morning, Jaime. Jaime would like to share. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good money talk as usual. I do like the acknowledging your tolerance. I think that's important, especially when you're playing with your money. I also like the way that you did it today with your standing up, illustrating the points. I also like the understanding concepts, not products. And when you stand up and when you give the information, it illustrates what you're talking about more clearer. And I did notice that change, and I appreciated that. So thank you.
Are you welcome, Jaime? Absolutely. Yeah, man. I woke up with a lot of energy this morning, fired up. I know me and Jaime had an 8 o'clock appointment this morning, so we'll be up early in the dusk of the morning. Anybody else would like to share? We'd like to hear from you guys. It's important that we share, you know. What's your takeaway from this morning? We have Miss Victoria Gordon. Good morning, Miss Victoria.
Good morning. Good morning. Awesome presentation. I really like when you talked about not so much the product, because I guess when I was coming up, we always were pushed about what company was better to get involved with and not really understanding the concept. So I really appreciate that. It was an eye-opener. Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome, Miss Victoria. And yes, I know that very same feeling. It's almost like why a lot of people want to go drive a Mercedes Benz versus a Honda. Nothing against a Mercedes. I like a G Wagon. G Wagon is probably one of my favorite cars. But is it any different from a Honda Pilot? It has 4 wheels, 4 doors, it has an engine, and they make the same noise, vroom, and they move from point A to point B. It's just that a G Wagon comes with $100,000+ price tag, and a Honda Pilot may come with a $40,000 price tag. What is it that you're really buying? Right? So it's the same thing with products, right? You just gotta know, like I said, it's all about tolerance. You gotta know what's your risk tolerance and your tax tolerance, right? And most of the time, you guys are just paying for the brand. It's just like, oh, I got this company versus that company, right? So we have Tiffany Herwood. Good morning, Tiffany. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Oh man, this is such a great money talk this morning. Everything you shared was priceless to me. But the one thing that I will say about today's call has to do with the limits that are put on our so-called retirement, right? They want you to save for retirement. It's supposed to be set up to pretty much help out the fact that Social Security is probably going to go away. But then it's like, oh, you're limited on how much you can save. But when it comes to buying a car, when it comes to buying a house, you can spend 40 grand. You can spend $300,000 to $500,000 on a house one drop, right?
Right.
Just like that. But when it comes to your livelihood and living in retirement, it's like, oh no, we don't want you to save that much. You can only do 18,000 if you got a 401k. You know, you can only do this much if you have an IRA. You know, so it's so important what you said about understanding concepts and understanding how you want to be taxed, understanding, you know, how much money do I need for retirement so that I can make sure I'm putting that away. And that's one of the reasons why I never got like a 529 for my kids. One, there were too many limits. I didn't like, you know, the restraints on the account. And then if my kids decided not to go to college, now I'm stuck, you know? And then I end up paying taxes on that. So thank you so much for sharing today. This was a great call.
Thank you. I'll give you guys one more too, man. Now that Tiffany got my brain running. See what happened when you guys share? You make me remember stuff. Write this down, right? And you guys gonna love me for this, and you may hate me because I just exposed you to it. There's a gentleman by the name of Ted Benner, Tedbenna, Ted Benner. Once you research this gentleman, he is credited to being the father of the 401k plan when he discovered the tax code in 1978 for a bank called Johnson in Pennsylvania. And this bank then in 1982 rolled out the first ever 401k type of plan with over 52 participants. Now, Ted Bennett also shared that his intention was never to replace the pension program and replace it with what's now known to you as a defined contribution plan versus the defined benefit plan, which was the pension. But what happened is that due to the fact that people are living a much longer, they realized that this was costing companies a lot of money. So companies were saying, man, the demographic of people are living way longer, and the fact that a pension pays you until you die, if the baby boomers are living longer, and then we have Generation X that's coming right behind them, then the millennials will be coming right after them. A lot of companies would have went bankrupt, so they had to figure out a way how to take the risk off them, put it back on you, and that's when they implemented what is now known as a defined contribution plan. You call it a retirement plan, but it's also defined as a tax code. Mm. Go to YouTube, watch a video. It's called PBS 401k, and I don't care who got mad at that because I got knowledge to share. Oh, Miss Sheila, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Another amazing Money Talk call. And, doing phone zones and, contacting people, it is so funny because the first thing that they come back with is, oh, I got a financial advisor, I'm good. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to tell you anything. Like, I'm not trying to be your financial advisor. I'm just trying to educate you on to make sure you understand what your financial advisor is doing. And so it's calls like this that, makes me even more pumped to continue to make these phone calls, because like you said, it's not about products. It's not about oh, I got this financial advisor and he doing ABCD product, but you don't understand the concept of how you're going to be taxed when you get these things, because he's not telling you that. And so again, another great money talk. And that Ted been a thing, like everyone needs to watch that video. When Keyon first told us to watch it, I was like, man, I was like the girl the other morning, like, oh my gosh, like that's too long. And then and that keeps ringing back in my mind. It's just like, you can't take an hour, you can't take 30 minutes to like empower yourself with the knowledge. This is knowledge. This is stuff, nobody else is getting, no company is giving it for free, and the financial advisors are making a killing off of people who don't know. So I'm glad that I'm in the know. I'm glad that World System Builders was the first company that I got involved with, knew about, was introduced to, so that I wouldn't be confused and thinking what I know is right. Over here we get the whole picture, and with these money talk calls, that picture is put in color. It's not in black and white, it's in color now. So thank you for the money talk calls. Another amazing call. Thank you, Keyon.
You're welcome. And let me tell you something, because I know folks will get to look back at this, and I want to show you my financial advisor. Look at my financial advisor. I don't even know if it's a woman or a male, but I'm just going to say she. Isn't she beautiful? She's so beautiful. Look at her.
Yes,
Look,
I think she would be a she.
of course. If she's going to be next to me,
Behind every great man is a woman. So that book is
right? I married my financial advisor. Look at my financial advisor. I married her. And she made me so much of a better man. Right, Miss Sheila? They said beside every great man there's a greater woman, and I think she's amazing. She's called Saving Your Future.
Yes.
My future, many of my friends' future, man, she's so awesome. She's so awesome, guys. And I want you guys to get real familiar with her. If you don't have a woman like this in your life, or for some of y'all a man like this in your life, y'all better find
Right.
it.
You better
This is
get
my
it.
advisor,
Better
right?
get it.
And look how thin it is. She's even slim and nice. Man, guys, let me tell you, man, money talk is where it's at. And I think Miss Victoria.
Yeah, Keon, I just want to say, I had a call on, but she had to go. She texted me and said, he is talking what I need. And I'm glad that she came on this morning because we have a session with her today at 2:00. So great
Nice.
job, great call. It is reaching people.
Man, I am fired up, guys, and I tell you, guys, get very acquainted with your financial advisor. Because my financial advisor, oh my God, she teach me so much, so much. I want to learn about taxes. I want to learn about, I don't know, investments, retirement plan, all these things she teaches me. And it's such simple layman terms. So if you never got a financial advisor, please get in touch with one of us and we'll make sure to send you over your personal financial advisor. Okay? So thank you guys. Amazing call as always. Great information as always. Great feedbacks. Great talk. And tomorrow, as you know, every Friday, we break down the plan with the goal, right? And help you with the understand the why. All right. So make sure you don't miss tomorrow. It's going to be an incredible talk again. And if you like this whole standing up thing, just real talk, like I said, just always drop a comment or share in the Money Talk chat room. If you're not part of the Money Talk chat room yet, please get in touch with us so we could add you to that Money Talk chat room and you could have more access to more materials, more books, more information, and like I said, more access. And it's free. Take advantage of it. All right. So with that said, guys, on the count of three, let's all will shout and let's have an amazing Thursday. All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So on the count of three, let's all will shout. 1, 2, 3. Let's whoosh, guys.
Ooh.
Whoosh.
World
World
team.
World
team.
team. One team.
One
One dream. One
Talk.
cup.
call.
Woo!
Have a great day,
Have a great
everyone.
day,
Great
everybody.
call.
Have a good day, everybody. God bless you.
Thanks.